In this video, I want to look at one common mistake that is made in basic mathematics, advanced mathematics. Sometimes it's made without thinking. So in order to show or demonstrate this mistake, I'm going to try to show you why A, or in this case, if A is equal to B is equal to 1, then 2 has to be 0. Okay. Normally in mathematics, when you're going to prove something, you're given certain conditions that are assumed to be true, and you use basic ideas known to be true to come up with the conclusion. So in this particular case, I'm given that A is equal to B is equal to 1. So in other words, A equals 1 and B is equal to 1. And I want to show, or I'm going to show that 2 must be equal to 0. Okay, so here is the way I'll do it. Okay, so we're given A is equal to B. So I'm going to square both sides. Say, okay, A equals B, then it should be true that A squared is the same thing as B squared. Okay? I've used that before in your procedures in solving equations. Now I'm going to add a minus B squared to both sides. Or if you want, I'm bringing the B squared term over to the left. It changes the sign, so the right side becomes 0. So I come up with this. Then I have a difference of squares on the left side. So again, just basic algebra, I'm going to factor that into A minus B. And A plus B. So I get this. Okay, so I have the product of two terms, A minus B and A plus B, equal to 0. And then I can choose to divide by either one of these. I'm going to divide by A minus B. Okay, that's a common step that we perform when we're solving equations. So I'm going to divide both sides by A minus B. Divide this side by A minus B. Okay, so here the A minus B and the A minus B cancel, divide out to 1. On the right side, 0 divided by A minus B, I'm going to say that's equal to 0. So I get A plus B is equal to 0. But I was given that A and B were the same number. They're both equal to 1, so that means that 1 plus 1 has to equal to 0. And 1 and 1 is 2, so the conclusion is that 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so those are my steps that I use to show that 2. So those are my steps that I use to show that 2 is equal to 0. Now the problem is, we know that 2 cannot be 0. So where did we go wrong? Where's the mistake? So I'll give you just a few seconds to look this over. Okay, if you have a good background in algebra, you probably see it right away. But if not, just a few seconds and look at the steps and find out where the fallacy is. In other words, I performed out an operation that is not legal. Can you find it? Okay, time's up. When I divide here by A minus B here and divide that to get 1, because A and B are the same number, that's 1 minus 1. So actually I'm dividing by 0. Okay, so division by 0 is not defined. Division by 0 is not defined. And that's the fallacy. And that's a mistake that's made quite a bit when you're solving equations, when you're working with other quantities. You go through and divide out without realizing that you're dividing by 0. So in this particular case, If you saw it right away, then that's good. But that's one of the reasons you have to make sure that you don't perform operations that are not allowed or are not legal, because you'll come up with a wrong conclusion. And if you're working a basic problem, of course you're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, so hope this made sense, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.